As we say hello and welcome everybody to the Sebring, the virtual Sebring International Raceway here for Season 6 of the SAAC Cup Series. And I mean, technically, Season 6 of the SAAC Cup Series, but a little bit of a different race tonight here from Sebring, Florida, here for a combined race here for the SAAC's Truck Series, the Smoky Hill Truck Series, and also the SAAC's Cup Series here for Season 6. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here for race number 3 here for the Cup side of things. Obviously, we have BRN usually covering the truck side, but obviously a combined race here, 90 minutes here from the virtual Sebring International Raceways. You see cars out here taking the track here. You see some Nextions there in the frame right there, but obviously a very, very interesting race nonetheless here from Sebring. We'll get ready to take you trackside here in just one moment. We'll take you trackside here as we see some of our truck drivers out here ready to go here, trying to get some practice underway here. Just over 6 minutes left in practice. Obviously, a little bit of a different thing that we're used to seeing here. Obviously, we saw this for the Clash year earlier this season there, as we saw the trucks and the Cup cars go to the short track there in North Wilkesboro. That was very exciting race here. You need to see some drivers out on track here. And just a combined field, just so cool to see these guys all together here. Just trying to figure it out here. And so we'll try to do a race rundown here of some of your race points here coming into tonight's race here from Sebring. See if we can find the point standings real quick for you drivers at home. So first of all, we'll start off here with the Smoky Hill trucks. How about that? Because we are kind of covering both drivers, both series here. So we'll try to get with the trucks here. So leading the points coming into, I believe this is also their 3rd race of the season, as it is, as their 4th race of the season. My apologies, because I think this is race 4 actually for everything else, which is interesting. But going into the truck standings, it's going to be the 72 of Gabriel DeHari who leads the points here. And obviously a lot of these drivers do come in here, and I believe they probably do run both series, so I'm going to presume that, you know, some of the Cup guys are going to stay in the Cups, and I presume that maybe both these points will transfer over. I'm not sure how this is going to work here, because a lot of these Cup drivers do race in the truck series, but Gabriel DeHari comes in here leading the points in the truck series. And then you look back to James Bomar, Dimitri Mundros, Pravi Vijay Kumar, Connor Chafari, Josh Patterson, your top 6 there in the truck series. And then we'll try to find our SAAC's Cup Series here. So it is race 3 here for the Cup Series. That's what I believe that was right. And we'll look at the owners' points here in the Cup Series. So Gabriel DeHari leading both points there in that 72 machine coming into Sebring here. So really good start to the season for both the truck and the Cup car there for that 72 machine. And then further back there in P2, AJ Hyder, Andretti Robinson, Malachi Drake, Connor Trafari, Christopher Robinson, your top 6. So Trafari top 6 on both points, as well as the 72 at DeHari. So and obviously Gabriel leading the points in both series. So what a way to start that off, right? So congrats on that. Obviously he'll come in here, and right now it looks like he's P11 right now in the next gen class. We'll look further back here. Some of your fastest drivers here on track in the truck series. We'll go ahead and pull up your fastest time right now. It's Ethan Marino in that 71 machine, fastest in the truck broadcast. And I am aware that we still do have the Homestead number fonts from last week there for the Cup Series guys, but the network's been very busy working on a big event here that will be coming tomorrow there, the NWP 400. HPTV has been working side by side with the IDK Studios trying to get all that put together. So been very busy here for the network. Unfortunately, we did not get those numbers sorted out, but we did try to get as many of the truck numbers as we could here. Not as many trucks as I expected going up to Sebring, but obviously the trucks are probably going to drive a little bit worse here than the rest of the field here. So right now, Marino top of the board there, followed by the 99 of Diego Roland. Look back to Garrett White in the 40 truck. Ethan Harrison in the 77. Josh Patterson in the 74. Larry Mines in the 33. Your top 6 in there. And we'll go up to the big boys here. Austin Doran, fastest in the next gens. Look further back here to Christopher Robinson in this 12 machine. He's out on track here, currently P2 with that 203.8. Look back to AJ Hyder, someone going to be very competitive. I feel like everywhere we go, AJ Hyder is going to be in the mix here. He's back to the P3. Matthew O'Brien in that 43. He showed a lot of speed last week from Homestead. And back to Connor Trafari. He sits P5 in points here. Top 5 in both series standings there in that number 9 machine. So, and obviously, Connor going to be someone to look at as well here. Just super quick here in these next gen cars. You see him slipping and sliding down here through the S's, but it'll be very interesting to see how these drivers take about the track here. But you see just under a minute left, just approaching 30 seconds left in practice. So this will probably be the last couple of laps here for everybody throughout the field here. As we've seen some drivers not take to the track quite yet. Fidel Fabian, Nicholas Budlimic, not out on track yet, but looks like the 12 of Andretti Robinson. He jumps up to the top of the board there in that 12 machine, 202.4. Right there, beating that Austin Doran machine by 0.4 of a second. So Robinson coming into qualifying on a high, trying to make something work here in that number 12 machine. Then you'll see the Doran machine. Looks like he's got a lot of pace there in that 52. But we're ready to get into qualifying here from the virtual Sebring Raceway. And this is going to be a lot. It's going to be very interesting to see where everybody lines up here tonight here from Sebring. Because, these road courses can be a little bit hard to pass. Can be a little bit tricky. But we'll just have to see here as we get ready to go into qualifying. Doing a network check there. We'll get ready to get out on track here. Take a look at some of your drivers here. Out on track here, it looks like Micah Walls in that 24 machine. One of the first drivers out on track there in that LSU Tigers machine. We'll go on board with this 24. We'll take us a lap around here, the virtual Sebring Raceway. Micah Wall is someone who's always been pretty good here at these road courses, my memory. But halfway done with the lap here, I believe. Not the biggest ball knower, if you want to call it that, when it comes to Sebring. Ooh, you see the 24 super upset out of that corner. To the very technical section down here. That left-hander down into a hard braking zone. A little bit of a U-turn. You'll see the 24 off the track there. And then down here, kind of the penultimate corner here down Sunset Boulevard. Getting hard down into this hard braking zone. And all the way out here, you're going to see these drivers track all the way back out there to those tire packs. The safer barrier there. I don't know if that's going to allow Micah time there with that off track there. We'll take a look and see. Yeah, Micah's going to have to try again here. Connor Trifari also off track here, who won his laps. See if we can ride on board with Christopher Robinson here. He was one of your faster drivers here tonight. And part of the reason you'll still see these guys is obviously we talked about working on the NWP 400. I believe we also lost the assets after we got these Roman numeral things. I think Brad did send me the normal numbers when he sent these over, but kind of slipped the mind there to put these back in here. So you'll continue to see those, but you'll see continuing drivers to do that. You'll see the 008 top of the board there. That's David Bachman. Obviously, no one has actually set a valid lap time yet here with 6 minutes left in qualifying. We'll see if this 12 can be the first to do it. He comes down this hard technical section. This is where Michael Walls had his off. Went off right around here. Looks like the 12 won't have an issue there. And remember, you can go a little bit off there through that corner down into Sunset Boulevard. And once again, the hard braking zone down here for the final corner. A hard kind of, you're going to see a lot of drivers kind of arc this corner out. Go as wide as you can and then kind of diamond it down off the exit there to try to get the best exit you can. And then up all the way, you're walking this car all the way back up the track, so you see Barney there. And we'll see if the 12 looks like a 202.5.1. He'll be actually your first driver to set a lap time. Jafari. So this was an out lap, I believe. That would make sense. The Jafari, like he might have had an off there, but Cody Rivera is up to P2. Austin Doran up to P2 now. So here comes some of the faster guys setting their lap times down. Look at James Balmar back to P5. Duncan Fa, your Daytona winner here to start the season. To the last half of the track there. I don't know. That's not going to count for Duncan. He's going to have to try again here on the second lap. Some of our first truck drivers out to set their lap times there. Looks like Marino fastest in the trucks right now with that 209.6. So looks like the trucks are about, I would say 5 seconds or so off the pace here. At least 5 seconds off the pace here. We'll continue to look at some drivers here. Here comes Ethan Harrison in the 77. He's about halfway done with his lap. It's going to be super interesting to see how this works, because sooner or later through this 90-minute race, these next gens are going to catch the trucks here. And we've seen a little bit of a taste of what it can look like when we did the Clash. But this is a road course. It's going to be a lot harder to pass. It's going to be a lot harder to get things done. Right, so there's not going to be, as many passing opportunities depending on where you catch these trucks in the corners, right? Just like, I heard on the radio, just like you see with IMSA, right? There's going to be some, some times where you can't just get around there. It's something like, and even at, Wilkesboro, there were some times where you saw the next gens get a little bit bottled up there when there were trucks side by side racing ahead. Granted, it's going to be a little bit different here at the road course. We're most likely there's just going to be parts of the track that aren't probably the best to pass, and it's not like a hypercar versus a GT3 where they're significantly faster, right? These trucks are only, about 7 seconds slower per lap than at least your faster guys here. So it's not going to be a night and day difference. This is like basically like what you would see like an LMP2 versus a GTP, right? It's basically the trucks to the next gens. It's not that big of a difference. So there are going to be sections of the track that you're most likely not going to be able to pass and get around if you're in the next gens class, right? So It's going to be interesting to see nonetheless how they navigate the traffic here, but still just over 2 minutes left in practice. We'll continue to look at some of your drivers out on track. Andretti Robinson in the 45. Coming through the last section of corners here. See if he can get his first lap underway here. Continue to look at some drivers who are making laps going up the board here. Cody Rivera is up to 4th. Ollie Reeves 5th. Faber Burns back to 6th. Back to now 7th. Dewey making his lap. That's a 204. He'll be P12 right now. Wyatt Roberts up inside the top 10. Good lap for Wyatt. 204.1. Wyatt Roberts actually was racing for the network in the NWP duels. Obviously, myself and Wyatt weren't able to make it in, unfortunately, to the big event tomorrow there for the 400. But glad to have Wyatt, at least partially, part of the team here for HVTV. You see him now back to P11. Is AJ Hyder up to P3 with that flyer lap there, 203.09. Really good lap for AJ. I'm going to go back to some of these drivers here who might be on their first lap. Looks like everybody has at least completed 2 laps who have ran laps. Ethan Harrison, this is his 2nd lap. Coming into the last couple sections here. He's got plenty of time to get to the finish line here. Looks like he might have went off there on that first lap, so this is his only other opportunity to set a lap time down, and he is in the red, so I don't know if this is going to be a lap time that's going to be validated, because most likely he probably went off track if he looks like he's in the red by 7.5 seconds. So we'll see if maybe this is valid, or maybe he just really tried to baby it this lap time to get a lap time out of this truck. See here across the stripe here if it will give him a validated lap. 211, that's a big improvement actually. So I think he was in the green 7.5 seconds there, because he's up to P6 in the trucks. Clan George, not a good lap. He's actually going to start, and I don't know how this is going to work for qualifying here, but the Clan ran a slower lap time than some of the trucks did, so I don't know if they're going to put him with the trucks, or if he's just going to be last in the next gen class. It'll be interesting to see how that all works about here. But qualifying on the way here, Christopher Robinson topped the board alongside Austin Dorian. In the next gen class, you'll look back to Ethan Marino. Diego Rowland will be rolling off 1-2 in the trucks. So a 90-minute race here. It's not going to be based off laps. It's going to be based off time here for this event here. It's going to be, I think, HVTV's first time race here on the network. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays about, because it's not really going to be about laps to go. Obviously, we'll get a 1 to go once that timer starts to click down here. But it's super interesting. I'm very excited to see how this race is going to go. It's a learning experience, I think, for a lot of these drivers tonight, including up here in the HVTV booth. So very excited to see how this is going to be. It looks like it's a 45-lap race. I don't know if that's estimated that ATVO is giving us or whatsoever, but we're going to go ahead and get our starting lineup here presented by ATVs. We have 40 drivers who showed up tonight, so we'll look first at these next-gen classes here. As you look at Christopher Robinson, his brother there, in that number 12 Ford Dark Horse Mustang. He takes the pole there with that 102.1, I believe it was. Austin Doran back to P2. He's going to round out that front row. We'll see Gabriel Dahari leading the points there in both series. He'll start up in 3rd alongside AJ Hyder in that 44 machine. And then Andretti Robinson back there in P5 alongside Matthew O'Brien. Cody Ramirez, Ollie Reeves round out your fast 8. And James Bomar, Connor Chafari, the top 10 here in the next gens. We'll look back here to Faber Burns in the O2 machine alongside Juan Escamilla. I believe that's how you say that. Wyatt Roberts and Shawnee Tarpley back there running out row 7 in the top 15. Will round out with Amir Bascom. Alexander Schumacher back there in P16. Chris Lilly, Chris Downey back there P17 and P18 in the top 20 will consist of Justin Rott, Duncan Faw, your Daytona winner back there in 20th. Micah Walls back there in 21st alongside Gabe Cazola. Brad Sisweski, Fidel Fabian, Donovan David round out the next gens, and you'll look now back to the trucks now, as you'll see Ethan Marino, going to be the pole sitter in the trucks. Diego Roland back there in P27, or P2 in the trucks. P3 will go to Josh Patterson. Larry Miles back there. P4, Dimitri Mundros, Ethan Harrison.
Racing for the first time for the truck guys. Your best result between last night and tonight.
McLean George, Garrett White, Marcus Vanderlee, Nicholas Woodlemick, Malachi Drake, Dale Beck, and you'll see the rest of the field back there. Running out the field.
Your job is not to block. Your job is not to defend from Cup. It's to be predictable. Okay, if a guy gets alongside you,
we've had these issues before here where we cannot mute our chat, so we're gonna go ahead. I think we got it. There we go. We could not get it muted in the practice session here, but we'll get ready to go. I guess 90 laps here. I mean 90 minutes here from Sebring. Be our first time race here on the network. I'm super excited to see how this all comes about here. Did you see the lights off on the pace car? Means we'll be going green this time by. It's going to be Christopher Robinson, Austin Doran, and the next gens, it'll be Ethan Marino, Diego Roland back there in the truck series. Look at this. I mean, super cool. I remember we obviously we did this in the Clash, and a lot of the drivers really liked the idea of this. And so let's do it on the road course as well. Let's bring the trucks with these next-gen cars here on these road courses and have a combined kind of multi-class race. And I love the idea of it. It's going to be super interesting. I'm really excited to see how this 90-lap dash goes here for week 3 in the SAAC Cup Series. Obviously, race 4 for the Smoky Hill Truck Series there for the combined ZASCAR and SAAC Truck Series. Race 4 here from Sebring. So race 3 for the Cup Series drivers. Race 4 for those Truck Series drivers back there further on back. And you see the trucks giving a little bit of a gap further back there to these next-gen drivers. Really smart to see that. Obviously, you don't. If there's a big wreck in the next gens here early in the race, you don't want those trucks piling in like we almost saw from North Wilkesboro when I believe it was Austin Doran getting loose on the restart zone, getting up through the gears, almost caused a big collision. Getting ready to head down Sunset Boulevard here. We'll get ready to get the green flag here from the virtual Sebring Raceway. Welcome everybody into the live chat and sit back. I'm super excited to see how this race is going to turn out. But obviously our first multi-class road race here on the network, and obviously for the SAAC series as well. So I can't wait to put on a great show for you fans at home as we get ready to go green here as we head down the penultimate corner here. We'll get ready to go 90 minutes here from Sebring. See the timer there on the left side, top left hand of your screen. And as soon as we get the green flag, you'll see that the times start to tick down throughout the laps here. Looks like it's going to be an estimated 45 laps here for these next gen drivers. So I'll give you a reference point of how many laps these drivers are going to have to take here from the virtual Sebring Raceway. Getting ready to head into the final corner. See the virtual pace car take the hard left turn down pit road. And we'll get ready to go. 90 minutes here. Some multi-class racing from Sebring as we're going to be green for week 3 for the Cup Series. Back to green flag. The 12 will lead us back to green. Coming out of the last corner here, the trucks going to be up to Ethan Marino. Whenever he wants to go, we'll get the green flag here in the Truck Series. And green flag in the air for the Truck Series. Marino, Josh Patterson going to be 1-2 as he gets a huge jump out of there as they go down into turn 1 and 2. But further back up here in the next gens, the 12 machine of Christopher Robinson. He's going to pull out to an early lead here. See now the timer's starting to tick down here. 90 minutes here from Sebring. We'll see these drivers get single file, but further back here, going to be 2 by 2 all over the place here, trying to make up some spots here early in the race. This is going to be a big opportunity for some of these faster guys. Maybe didn't set the best lap time to come down try to be aggressive here. You see the 43 trying to work the outside here. This 02 will be inside that corner, but outside for this corner for the 43. Gonna try to muscle around here. The 43 a little bit off the track. He's gonna lose some time. He's gonna stack up all the next gen. The 77 around one and around in the back here. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Oh man, more wrecking in the next gens. Fidel Fabian around as well. The 77 gets clipped again. Here comes the Truck Series drivers. Gonna have to navigate around these wrecked next-gen drivers. I think they'll get through here. We'll try to take a look and see back at what happened with these next-gen drivers. This all started back here with the 77. A little bit of a checkup from the 43 going off track. You'll see the 43 here battling with the 02 up the track there. He gets off track and checks up this whole kind of little front pack here. 77 gets ran over by the 21 and around they'll go. Something happens with the 55 of Fabian as well up here. I think he gets bunted off the bumper of the 61 of Duncan Fa. Yeah, just basically dumps 55 or misses the corner. You see the 28 around as well. So lots of chaos, at least in the next gen series here. Looks like the trucks have been pretty cordial with each other right now. We tried to get our IMSA ticker put up for you guys here, but unfortunately, we have it set up for 3 classes. Obviously, it's for IMSA, not the NASCAR series. So, and we would have loved to have that up for you guys, but unfortunately, it's set up for 3 series. We only have 2 series showing up this Sebring, so I don't think we could have done a good job presenting that for you fans at home. So, I'll try to be as informative as I can about where everything is. So you'll look 25th on back is going to be where the trucks start. So Patterson, 25th will be the first of the trucks. So if you want to look for the next gen battle, it's going to be 24th on up. You see still Andretti, Christopher Robinson, and that 12 machine leading the field here. Austin Doran in tow though, trying to make some ground up with the Chevy on board. You're off the front bumper of Doran. Austin's really been the only driver to kind of keep pace with this 12 machine. Trying to keep it within a second here. Remember, it's a 90-minute race, an hour and a half. Lots of time to run this driver back down. So if I'm Austin, as long as you can kind of keep this driver in your eyesight, I think that's a really good thing. You saw him really good corner to that last corner here as we cross the stripe here for our, I believe, our first or second completed lap. Yeah, this is the start lap 2. No, the start lap 3, my apologies. And Austin trying to put the pressure on this number 12 here for the overall race lead. Further back, a little bit of separation back to Andretti Robinson in that 45. These Robinson brothers doing a really good job here from Sebring. You're starting to see with some of these drivers kind of disciplines start to shine here. A lot of these drivers can, do a lot of stuff outside of the NASCAR stuff. We'll go do IMSA. We'll go do the sports cars challenges. Obviously, we'll do the endurance events here on the sim that we're allowed to do. And super cool to see that, right? But here comes AJ Hyder. Going to try to make a move to the inside. Thinks better of it. Backs out. A little bit of a 4-car gaggle for the third on back. Truck back in with the Truck Series drivers here. Still kind of a little mini battle here. Is actually, look at this truck. He's caught the back end of an action there. That's Donovan David. So David's obviously gonna be a lot better here down the straight. It's a lot more power, a lot more everything. But if you're just a better road course driver, you see this a lot, right? On the sim. Just because you're in a faster car does not mean you're gonna be faster, right? Because, I mean, this is the overall truck race leader here in that 74 machine. And he's, putting the pressure on the next gen. I mean, that's super cool to see that. Look further back here. Marino striking distance as well back here in that 71. And he's got pressure further back there from the 30. Larry Miles trying to put the pressure on there. Unsponsored trucks. If you guys are looking for, you know, someone to sponsor here in the truck series, Larry's showing some speed at least at the road courses. And I know these drivers I know the truck series goes to quite a few road courses. You know, I'll be definitely watching when the trucks go to Wild West. I've raced back when NASCAR went there. I raced in that truck race, and it was a lot of fun. So I'll be good to be watching that over on BRN. Where, you know, that's the primary broadcast partner for the SAAC Cup Series. I mean the SAAC Truck Series, the Smoky Hill Truck Series. A little bit of a gaggle here for P3 for the overall race lead. Josh Patterson not being able to shake off these drivers, trying to hold on. We see a big slide out of the race leader. 71 going to try to look for a move, but here comes Larry Miles trying to look topside here on the 71. And that's allowed the fourth truck there, Diego Roland, to get back in the picture there. Remember, Diego was on the front row, gave up a couple spots there, and now he's back in the picture. And I have no idea what fuel strategy, fuel mileage is going to look like here from Sebring. Well, they're only giving that information up here in the booth, but obviously that's something we're going to have to talk about, fuel strategy here. This is, I won't say it's an endurance race, so maybe for a lot of these NASCAR guys who haven't ran IMSA and the sports car stuff, but fuel strategy is going to be big here. A lot of good spots on the track here to save a little bit of gas here. Larry Miles all over the back end of this 71 machine. This 30's really impressed me. I see the 28, the 94, David off the track there. I think this is going to be the first pass for position. Trucks versus next gen. Here comes the rest of the drivers here. Going to try to get around the next gen of David here. And this is going to be kind of a scary situation here for this next gen because he's going to be way faster down the straights than these trucks. But he's not just, I mean, Donovan just having a little bit of trouble with the handling of this car. Going to be slower probably in the corners and in these, you know, more technical parts of the track. But as soon as we get to these long straightaways, he's going to easily catch these trucks, get to the back end here. We'll like roll off the bumper here of the 99. You see how easy this next gen catches back up on the straights, right? I think right now Donovan's backing off a little bit, knowing that, you know, he can't, and he doesn't want to overshoot these corners and stuff. You see a little bit of tire smoke further back there. Got a driver go off further back in the pack here. And driver's already 77 there, down pit side here. Go back up here to the battle for the overall race lead. Christopher Robinson has not been able to shake off 52 machine of Austin Doran. Doran been able to keep it within a second at the very least here of that 12 machine. Robinson trying to hit his marks. Try to keep that gap right around where it is. And the race lead is the race lead nonetheless. But I see this 52. He's way better here in this last corner. Makes up a ton of steam here on corner entry. But you'll see the difference in the corners there. You see that Robinson kind of sets up for the exit versus Doran, who sets up for the entry. But still, Doran makes up a ton of time there to that last corner. Trying to keep it within striking distance. You look back to Connor Trafari, not Connor Trafari, Gabriel DeHarley. See Connor in the background there, but Gabriel able to keep this inside the podium spot. AJ Hyder back to P4. Cody Rivera's up a couple spots from where he started. The P5. Obviously, we got asked to come and kind of fill in for KBRN here for the Cup Series, so I'm not very sure, you know, of like what everybody's backgrounds are. But obviously Cody's not had the best success here on the ovals, but Showing a lot of pace here from Sebring. I mean, he's battling out with AJ Hyder, probably one of your championship favorites. So, you're on the road. It's something I've always loved to come and look at here, because you're going to have these drivers who might not have their ovals figured out as much, but they'll come in here and be very, very fast here on the road courses and kind of shake up the field here. A little battle for P3. Hyder's caught up to the Hari. And you see obviously off on the bumper of Rivera's here. Forward performance on board. So the 72, a little bit of a mistake, but he's going to put on the track there. Now I always imagine that, at least for me, it's always easier for me to hit my marks when I've got someone out in front. I've got that rabbit to chase, right? And this is something you have to think about as a driver, right? If you want to go past, let's say the 72 here, he's 7.5 seconds back from the race lead, right? Almost 8 seconds back. If you're AJ Hyder, if you're Rivera's or Robinson, and you still hit those marks without that, you know, kind of virtual breaking point that you kind of have with the driver in front, to kind of base off of like, okay, this is where I can gain time, this is where I can push, this is where I can back off to gain more time. Can you do that once you get past the 72 here? Because you start to see the 72 starting to stack everybody kind of further back up here. Starting even to see like the likes of Connor Trafari start to slowly bring himself into this picture here. It'll be a 5-car blanket here in a matter of probably a lap or two. Like the battle for the truck lead started to slow down here. It's still that number 74 of Patterson able to hold on here, but Diego Roland got himself back up inside the top 2. Larry Miles still P3, but Marino started to fall off a little bit there. And you look back here, once again, Connection trying to battle the trucks here. I think what Donovan did here is he was kind of scared to race the leaders there for that truck class. He doesn't want to race, you know, the kind of the faster truck guys there. But has found a little bit, that's found comfortability right now, just right in front of kind of 5th and 6th here in the truck class. Trying to hit his marks here. Oh, up into the wall there. The 94. Go further back up here to the next gen class. We'll go through and talk about some of your drivers who are going in outside the top 5 right now. Look at Trevor Burns, James Bomar. I honestly expected Bomar to be a little bit further up here. I know he does a lot of sports car stuff. I know he's pretty familiar with Sebring. Expected him to be a little bit further up the track here, but right now you see Bomar back there in P9, my apologies. Trying to figure it out here. Look back to Ollie Reeves. New car for that 31 machine. And Matthew O'Brien, he qualified up towards the front there. And obviously you saw him, he went off early in the race. Has not been able to recover quite yet there. He's, you know, the first car kind of in this lead pack, and then further back here, quite a few. I mean, this is 13 seconds off. Even, you know, O'Brien in 11th. Shockey Tarpley, Toomey in the 68. Look at Gabe Cazola, Justin Rott. Guys, kind of a second pack almost here. These guys try to figure out these cars here. You see Amir Bascom, Chris Lilly. Trying to ride around here at the top 20 overall. You already have a couple of retirements. Brad Sisweski, 28, is called tonight. Micah Walls off the track. You look at Juan and 77. He's still on pit road, but he's 7 laps down. Duncan Fa, Fidel Fabian also have put those cars in the garage and have called it a night here early from Sebring. It's a battle for the overall race lead here. That 52 has not been able to get back up there, but the 12 is not shaking him off either. Dorian has done a good job keeping the pressure on. mean, Christopher right now cannot make a mistake, or he's going to have that 52 all over him. And speaking of pressure, a bit of once again, another dogfight for the truck overall race lead here. 99 of Roland has found some pace in this truck, that Chevy Silverado. Trying to run down this F-150. That 74 is led pretty much every lap of the race here. Had a good start on the drop of the green flag. Obviously, he didn't start on the pole, I believe. And he's up 2 spots, so he started back there in P3. Very quickly took the race lead away from Roland and Marino. Has not looked back, but here comes Roland with some pressure to the back of this 74 machine. And he's got pressure from Larry Miles. Larry has been sticking in with it as well here. His first, looks like 9 laps here for these Truck Series drivers. Back to Diego. Obviously, and it's fun to see, especially because this is only the second time we've called the trucks here. Interesting to see, you know, who's kind of the guy to lead the trucks here. It was kind of the trucks introduction here to HVTV and for everybody watching at home, right? Obviously, I assume, you know, a lot of the same viewers are probably watching, have been watching BRN as they have their live coverage here of the Smoky Hill Truck Series. But for us, you know, this is an introduction of these trucks, right? Obviously, we've seen this 74, Josh, really be really quick. There's, a huge wreck in the back, Donovan David. Head first into the tire barriers here. We'll take a look at it. Just completely overshot the corner. And a huge hit to the 94 machine there. Go back to our live action here. You'll see the 94 down pit side. And the battle heating up for the race lead. This is the closest I've seen Austin get. Within 4 tenths. Good inputs here on this 52 here in the race pace. Still lots of time. Still well over an hour left in the race. Got plenty of time. Just needs to continue to put the pressure on this 12 machine. Look at this 12. He's not as aggressive as this 52 in the braking zones, and I feel like that's where Austin is catching him, is in these braking zones. I'm interested to see, as Austin is a little bit more aggressive here under the brakes, will that burn his tires up a little bit more? Because you see how much time he gains here on the brakes, but the 12 a little bit better on exit, getting the power down a little bit quicker. And I think that's kind of the give and take, right? Do you set this corner up for entry, or do you set it up for exit? You see the 12. A lot of pressure now from this 52. The 52 of Doran might have found something here. This is their 10th lap here for these next-gen cars. And you see right there, up the road, that's lap traffic. I was just gonna talk about when do we catch that lap traffic here for these two race leaders here, because these guys have been lights out. 11 seconds back to Andretti Robinson now. I mean, it's going to be between these two for the race win. And I have a feeling it might come down to pit road. Who makes the... If either of these two make a mistake. Adoran. A lot of pressure to the back of the 12 here. And here comes the lap traffic there. They're catching the back end. That's the... Not sure who that is, actually. But regardless, some lap traffic here. I think that's the 52 machine. That's Marcus Vanderlee in the 56, actually. Here, catching up here. Marcus will be racing in the NWP 400 tomorrow as well, so good luck to him and his familiar in and out schemes here. But you'll see the next gens around the, and this really shows like how small these next gens are compared to the trucks. These, you know, these things look like beasts on the track, but it doesn't really show how short these are. So here comes the race for the lead here. Doran looking to the inside. And we talked about lap traffic being the decider there. Doran a little bit better. Getting around Vanderlee. He takes the race lead away for the first time. Now the question is, he's got the clean air. He's got the track position. Can he run away from the 12? And once again, we talked about that cat and mouse. Can this 52 continue to hit his marks without that rabbit to chase? If anything, can the 12 of Christopher learn a little bit from this 52 and maybe improve his lap time here off the bumper? Because you now see him, no, Christopher hasn't really fallen off. Go right on the tire track to this 52. Oh, we've seen it time and time again. This last corner is by far Austin's best corner, at least comparatively to that 12 machine. You'll see him gap it out now. Almost 7/10 of a second as we get down into turn 1 and 2. They're back here. Marino really starting to fall back. Your pole sitter. I don't see a lot of damage on the 71. I don't see any, honestly. It hasn't been able to find the pace in the race for now. These trucks are going to be less forgiving about the tires. If you burn the tires off, the truck, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough times here, and I think that's maybe what happened with the 71. The next gens are a little bit better. They're a little bit more forgiving with the tire wear. Now, there's not really tire percentage here in these next gen cars. It's more about tire temperature. So if you overcook the corner, you overheat them, you just have to back it up. For Sebring, probably for a lap, maybe lap and a half. You can start to pick up the pace once again. And these trucks, once the tires are gone, they're gone. Just going to be slipping and sliding on this old abrasive track here on Sebring. One just holding on for dear life right now. About the Josh Patterson, he's still been able to combat this pressure he's had from the trucks behind, but has not wavered quite yet. Here comes Larry Miles with a huge dive to the inside there for P2. Larry Miles is tired of sitting back there. He wants to go race for the lead. A huge send up the inside there. Was going to make contact with the 99, so he backed out of it. Really, really disciplined for Larry there. And I think that was more of a message to Diego there. Like, hey, I'm here, and I want a round. If anything, it's going to have that 99 looking into the rearview mirror, right? And if that starts to happen, right, for the 99 machine, that's when the mistakes start to calm down. When you're just trying to play defense versus look out the windshield and try to run down that 74 machine. Now still all over the back end. Trying to make something happen. We'll continue to look for some more battles here on track. Cody Ramirez. Matthew O'Brien. The battle for P6. Overall. I hope these drivers realize this race is longer than it seems, right? And we're estimating about 44 laps here from Sebring. We're running 2-minute times. Now Cody looks like had to do a shortcut there, so he'll probably have a slowdown here, I believe. Gonna have to give that lap time up potentially. Him giving up that time. Oh, here comes the 36 down Perry Road. We have ran, 14 laps here in the next gens. I'm not sure how fuel works for these guys, but we're right about at that 1/3 mark. Of the race, so see him take 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Now we see some more, yeah. Cody looks like the only driver who came down outside. Looks like the 02 of Faber Burns also came down. I believe that will be the start of the green flag pit cycle. Remember, no full course cautions here from SAAC. You got the red course, unless there's like a catastrophic one somewhere on the track. Now I don't see that happening with how spread out everybody is. Doran has not been able to get away from this 12. It's kind of rules reversed now. So now Robinson trying to run down the 52 of Doran. And these guys have just completely left the rest of the field. The Andretti back there, 14.5 seconds back. Still a really good run for this 45 nonetheless, but in this last hour, he's going to have to find something different if he wants a shot at getting back to his, I believe, brother, if I'm correct. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but they're a married couple. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Thanks for the info, everybody. Do some more drivers down pit side. Lots of drivers down pit road here. Here comes, most of the field here. Austin down pit road, as well as Christopher, I believe. Christopher still on track. So Austin Doran comes down pit road here. Just right at the 1/3 mark here. He'll basically come out right here with an hour on the dot left here in tonight's race. It's going to be Christopher and Andretti. 1-2 for now. Obviously a 14.5 second lead. Back to the 45. So for these trucks, about to say, when do they come down pit road? Looks like Josh Patterson just made his first green flag pit stop. So Garrett White, a 40 machine, takes over the race lead. And it looks like all the next gen, at least the race leaders, have officially lapped every one of the trucks now. It looks like fuel mileage pretty similar for the next gens and the trucks, because we saw your race leader, Josh Patterson, he came down 1 lap ago. So now when does Garrett come down pit road? I'd assume that Josh here wouldn't react to the next gen's coming down pit road, I don't think that's something that would make sense. So I believe that's just, maybe that's him coming down because we hit that 1/3 mark. And, you know, it's interesting to see this because a lot of drivers, really every other place we go here, to, you know, you kind of cycle this out into pitting and like maybe split the laps and making it, you know, a two-stopper to, you know, split the race into thirds. You're kind of seeing that now, but it's based off time, right? So you saw quite a few drivers, they come down at the 30-minute mark, right? And then you'll see them come down again in the next 30 minutes. So very interesting to see that. You still see the 12 of Robinson out on track here. So obviously he can go a couple more laps than I guess we expect him to. And obviously that just makes me think that everybody else was just trying to split this into thirds. Now my question is, when does Christopher come down pit road? He's got almost a 30-second gap back to Ollie Reeves. Ollie has yet to come down pit road, but just look at that. I mean, this shows the pace of this 52. He already came down pit road, and he's still in third and running down that 31. See them get around the trucks race later as it speaks. Take a look at the time difference here. I mean, these guys are already getting away from Garrett here. To go back up further, Austin Dorian putting the pressure on this 31. And he'll retake P2. And he's already made his pit stop. Obviously, with the new tire model, these new tires do make a difference. Last lap for Austin. Well, actually, we'll see what the lap time is as he crosses the stripe there, because obviously this is a 2:29, but he also came down pit side here. That's going to count towards his lap time. So will this probably. This will probably be a little bit slower as well, just because this lap out will count for this. So we'll have to wait one more lap to see what the lap time difference here with old versus new tires. Actually, no. Until right now, 104. And that might actually be with the pit exit as well, so. I mean, he's already 2 seconds quicker than Christopher here. So when does Christopher, if he sees that, okay, he's 2 seconds quicker than I am. It looks like a stop is about 34.5 seconds, right? I mean, if you're Christopher, you have to react to that, because if you don't pit now, I mean, Austin has made up already a tremendous amount of time. Like, the quickest pit stop in the next gen I see is about a 34 flat from entrance to exit. So if you're Christopher now, I mean, I think he might have put himself in a bad spot, because he knows now that if I pit now at all, right, Austin's gonna pass me in pit road, because he's got it down already to 26.5 seconds. So what do you do, right? Look back now to the overall truck leader. Garrett White's still out on track. We got about a 13.5 second gap back to Josh Patterson. He's the first one who has come down pit road. I see Connor Shafari slow. Oh, he's gonna spin. Everybody, yeah, that was scary if you're anybody around this vicinity of the track. Shafari was up inside the top 10. He'll drop back to P13 now after that little mistake there out of the 9. Gonna have to put his head down here. He's still got an hour, so still lots of time to get those spots back, but obviously you don't want to lose that precious lap time here. Lose that track position. I think Robinson down pit side. He is down pit side. And look at that. Out of pit road. Austin Doran retakes it. And we'll go back off the gearbox cam. At 12, nowhere in sight. And you can see him in the background just a little bit. And almost a 4.5-second gap. That's the difference from short pitting there and kind of splitting this race into thirds. And if I'm Robinson, I'm a little confused by that because obviously maybe if you could split in the two and maybe go like 45 minutes and split it in half, right? Then maybe. But he couldn't make it the whole 45, so he's not even gonna. He's still gonna have to do a 3-stop, unless he does a lot of fuel saving here this second run. When you talk about, he came out here with about 53, and he's gonna have to get the 45. So that's a good, almost 4 or 5 laps he's gonna have to save if he wants to make it a 1-stop race. I mean, if he wants to do that, I think it might be worth it, as long as that gap doesn't shrink, right? As long as that gap doesn't go exponentially back to Doran. If you could save fuel, if you could save 5 laps here for the rest of the race here, I mean, he's got 52 minutes to save 4 or 5 laps of fuel. You think about it. He's got to save 4 or 5 laps of fuel and say, you know, within, I would say 25 seconds of Doran here. I'll say 20 seconds because when Doran comes down, inevitably here, you know, around probably 30 minutes to go, he will have fresher tires and he will be undoubtedly faster than Christopher. And he will run down the 12. It's just a matter of did 12 get enough of a gap to keep the race lead if he wants to try that fuel save, right? Because that 12 machine, he went 18 laps there on that first stint. If you do the math there, that's 36. That's 8 laps estimated he's gonna have to save. I don't think that's even possible. So if I'm Christopher, you learn that you can't short pit. I mean, you can't long pit because you have a 4.5-second gap back to Doran, who's already very quick. You're gonna have to probably do the opposite here. You're gonna have to short pit this 52. This next stop. Josh Patterson retakes the race lead here, and the trucks have really strung out here. Larry Miles takes over P2. Diego Rowland back there in P3, but I think maybe Diego might have had a mistake down pit road or something because he's almost 7 seconds behind Larry. Larry's trying to hold on here. He's got about a 3.5-second deficit to make up to Josh, the truck leader there. You see him in the 4 shot there. So not over for Larry. He's got to hit his marks there. Definitely not over. He's matching lap times with Josh there. Actually about a 10th quicker. About a 10th and a half quicker that last lap. Battling further up here. James Beaumont getting some pressure from the 34, the 43, and Matthew O'Brien. Remember, O'Brien had that mistake there. Like the first lap there. Has had to just basically work the hard way to get this track position back. I don't know if he did have race winning speed. I mean, that spin, whatever, that mistake cost him any shot at even probably a podium. Unfortunately, he's driven his way up through the field here. He's back up to 8th. He's all the way back inside the top, around that top 15 mark. So he's made up quite a bit of spots. I mean, he qualified back there in P6. You know that he's got some pace in that car. And James Beaumont also starting to fall back there. Ollie Reeves also good around that 20 machine. Beaumont with a little bit older tires than these drivers in front of him. Got about 5 laps on these tires. That 43's got 4. Ollie Reeves has 2. So Ollie's actually in a better spot here. He can get around this 43. Ollie looking in the inside. He's going to make the spot up. So Ollie up inside the top 7. Little battle further back here. 40. Garrett White trying to make the move here on the 71. And Marino continues to drop through the field here. Woody's got the pressure tires. Compared to Marino. Marino off. There goes Moondros around the 71 as well. Action's in the picture here. Preston Rott. Chris Downey in the mix here. The battle for P14. Bit of a lockup from the 76. A little bit of contact between him and the 27 to Downey. It's always hard to tell. You look at these battles, who's the quicker driver, because they just get sometimes just stacked up by this lap traffic, and allows maybe a little bit of a slower guy to catch up potentially. But I can't tell if Downey's a little bit quicker or if Rod is. Like Downey did a better job getting through the traffic there. Rod back there still struggling. Get around this lap truck. Andretti, Christopher Robinson right here. Got the 45 of Andretti behind him there. Still about 60 seconds back, but he's slowly running down Austin. About just under a second quicker that last lap than the 52. Christopher just trying to put his head down, trying to get that time back that he lost there after that long pit. And he's got fresher tires. He's got about 4 lap fresher tires, which is quite a bit of tire life here at Sebring. Sebring's one of the longer tracks. And it's so abrasive here. I think that's the biggest thing, is how abrasive this virtual Sebring Raceway is. Remember, this is one of the oldest tracks. I believe it is one of the oldest tracks on the simulator. And they have done some work to, make it a little bit better, but this was built back in the early 1900s on an old drag strip, not an old drag strip, an old airport, right? You'll see, down Sunset Boulevard, they're racing on, the old runway, I believe. Back to the race lead, though. Larry Miles starting to run down this 74. Dan puts you on Larry. We'll take you around a lap here from Sebring. Something that I like about Larry is that he's hitting his marks. He's not really overdriving the truck there. He's not using the curbs or anything. He's just being really steady in, steady out. That's what you have to do here in this truck, because these curbs can catch you in the wrong spot here in these trucks and just whip it around. You see that 74, he's using a lot of the curbing, trying to use all the track that he can, which is good. But Larry, he's still making up. He's faster. Not using up, all the curbs and stuff. Like, those flat curbs are fine, but the ones that are actually elevated, those are the ones that can bite you, take them the wrong way. Since we've been on board with this driver, I mean, he's closed it down underneath a second here. And let Shui by there in the 68. And if you're this truck, that's something you have to think about as well. Is navigating the faster cars, right? When do you let the faster cars go without giving up time? Sometimes you'll get lucky, like the 74 will here, and that next gen will get to you on the straightaway. And you don't really have to worry about getting out of the way to give them the spot. And that's not going to happen every time. Now, if SAAC would ever want to partner with like an O'Reilly League, and they could bring the trucks here, I think that'd be definitely something interesting to look at, right? Is, you know, all three top NASCAR series all on a road course together, just going for it. And I think that O'Reilly car is a good kind of a good intermediary car, right? A little bit more horsepower than the truck, but a lot more floaty, a lot more, you know, a lot harder to drive, honestly, than the truck and the Cup car, in my opinion, on these road courses. You'll see the battle for the truck lead here. Miles all over the back end of the 74. He's only got one lap fresher tires. Has found some pace here in this 30 machine. Josh just hasn't been able to pick it up at all, which is a little surprising because he was, you know, the guy to beat by the looks of it. But Miles, I've been able to find something different here. See Downey gonna make the move as well as Sizweski in that 28 machine. I wish we had another operator, a camera guy here, because the battle for the overall lead is also starting to pick up here. Christopher Robinson within a second. All right, now currently this is a closer battle, so we'll keep it here. Oh, really sideways for the 74. Here comes Miles. He's going to have the inside lane here. Through the S's. Miles. Larry Miles is going to take the race lead here in the trucks. 74, the handling starting to go away. Here comes Chris Lilly. You see Larry right there. Giving him the lane there. Going back in line. That's really smart. Back up here. Look at that 12 machine. He slowly ran down Austin Doran. Christopher. I honestly didn't think he had it in him to get back to this 52. I mean, he had almost a 5-second gap. But he's kept his head down. He's consistently ran faster than this 52, lap after lap. At the very least, looks like he was 4/10 quicker this last lap, but has been able to find the pace. Maybe did Christopher learn something from this 52, right? We talked about it. Or even with the 52, maybe did he just get a little complacent because he was just riding out by himself. Sometimes when you ride by yourself, it's easy to not go as hard as you need to, you know, to make the pace here, versus that 12 who has that kind of tenacity the need to get back to the 52. He's got that 52 as kind of a breaking point as well, right? Okay, I can. He's making it stick right there. I can drive it in maybe half a car length deeper, right? Try to make up some time. But he is slowly running down this 52. Something happened. Oh, here comes the 74 down per row. That's what happened. So Josh Patterson lost the race lead. He said, okay, we're within probably the fuel range here. Let me just go now, right? I'll take the tires, I'll take the fuel, and let's go, right? It'll be the one of the first drivers to come down pit road here for their last stop here in this 90 hours of Sebring. 90 hours, 90 minutes of Sebring. My apologies. Austin Doran trying to hold on. It does not have the pace that this 12 does. Got 3-lap older tires. And if he can hold on for what, maybe 3 more laps, he'll get to that 30-minute mark that he went down pit road the first time with. The issue is Robinson within a second. With how much faster he's been in this 52, I don't think that Austin can wait until we get down to, you know, almost around 30 on the dot. Tires have started to wear on this 52. 12 starting to take advantage. They're back here. Battle for P15. Chris Lilly. Brian Lorenzo. Battling it out here for P15. Chris Lilly going to come down pit side. So they're up here. Faber Burns up here in 6th. We haven't really talked about this driver that much. Up inside 6th. He's getting ran down by Ollie Reeves though. Ollie with the fresher tires compared to Traber. Ollie taking good use of those fresher tires. Out around the 43. Back there of O'Brien. Pulled away. Now starting to run down this 02 machine. Back up here to for the overall lead. Robinson all over the back end of this 52 now, within 4/10. And Austin, hold on. Or he makes his final pit stop. Get off the back bumper of this 53. You just hear it, that 53, that 52, I mean, you just can't really maneuver the car as well anymore. As well as the 12. He's really just having to wait on it to rotate versus the 12 who could just kind of put it wherever he needs to get the car to go where he wants it to. And now with the tires just going away on this 52, he just cannot put it exactly where he wants it to. Robinson all over the back end of this 52 machine. We approach the 2/3 mark in tonight's race. Anybody wondering, it's we're going to lap 28 here. And here comes, no, That was him going to come down pit road here. Catches that lap truck in a really bad spot. So it is, but so does Robinson, to be fair. Obviously not the 40's fault, but wrong place, wrong time. Issue is Robinson's gotten there, has not been able to make the pass. I think he's going to need a mistake out of Doran, which is going to be a hard ask. Austin has not really made a lot of mistakes. You see a little bit of left front damage, but outside of that, I haven't really seen a mistake out of this 52 all race. So Larry Miles leads the truck field here. He's got a 14.5-second gap back to Garrett White in that 40 machine. We just saw him get lapped once again there. Well, so all over the back end. Issue is now what does Christopher do? Does he try to maybe put us in down here in one of these hard braking zones? Maybe get that 52 to look in his rearview mirror. And here comes the 52 down pit road. Remember, Christopher learned the hard way here that if you go out too late, there's a shot that you don't get the win, right? He got back to the 52 here in this kind of same scenario, but do you try that again, right? I think you want to jump the 52. I don't think you want to have to run him back down, because that puts so many more variables in this 12's way, right? He gets held up by just a couple more lap cars, or maybe there's even some slower connections, right? That could potentially hold him up. You see an action up the road there, actually, right? So I think that's Gabe Cazzola, I believe. So if he gets caught up by something, that's going to impede his ability to go back and drive up to Doran, right? Doran is the first one to pit, right? You have to, I feel like, just react off of that. I get that maybe there's a strategy at hand here, but you saw he got back to the 52, couldn't make the pass before, the 52 came down back pit road. So some drivers down pit side here. Cody Ramirez, O'Brien coming out of his box. James Bomar down pit side as well. Now it's the two, Robinson. Grady and Christopher. 2 peas in the pod, leading the field here. Still, it's been Christopher and Doran for the whole race here. Andretti, really good job running in P3, but just hasn't had the pace to keep up with the front two there. He's gonna get a podium, so that's all you can ask for. It's a good, solid finish. .45 back there at P2. He'll have to make his final pit stop here sooner rather than later. We'll be back up here. Garrett White still leading the field. He still has to make his final pit stop as well. Larry Miles. He has just came down pit road. He took his first stop. And he's got about a 5-6 second gap up to Josh Patterson. So remember, Josh, he was the first truck driver to come down pit side. But once again, we saw this happen before. You see Larry, he's in the frame back there. So can Josh hold on to get the win here? I mean, he's got 27 laps, right? He's probably got a good, I would say, 12 laps to go, I would say, here from Sebring. 10 to 12-ish laps, depending on how fast these Nextions lap the trucks. Here we go. Andretti Robinson down pit road. I mean, Christopher Robinson down pit road. That'll hand the race lead over to Andretti. He'll lead his first laps. Leaving it across the line in time because Doran already closed that gap back to 2.5 seconds here. See the 45 and the 4 shot there. Trying to hold on to get that lap lead bonus. Doran within a second and a half, I don't think. Gonna have enough time. I think Andretti's gonna do it here. See. Oh, it's Christopher Andretti blinking a little bit. Get across the stripe here. And he will get a lap lead. I didn't know. Yeah. I'll at least get officially a lap lead. I didn't know if he would have got it there. Start off with. Here comes the 52. Side by side for the race lead. He's got the fresher tires. He's got the more fuel. No, that 45 is going to try to hold him up as much as he can. 52 clears, but Christopher Robinson not that far back. 2 seconds back. Well, I mean, I'm interested to see if Andretti at all holds him up. Oh yeah, I mean, Christopher had to pick up a little bit there at the very least. See if there's any, a little bit of a battle here. It will be the provisional lead. Larry Miles got 20 minutes to spare, but he's already caught the back of the 74. Here comes Larry. McClare easily for the provisional race lead. Actually, it is for the race lead, as Barry White did make his pit stop here. Larry's probably going to drive away here. Last 20 minutes. Alpha lead heating up though. For Robinson, I talked about had to react. How much time he gave up by overcutting it the last time. Now you see him now. Making up the time. Then 6/10 within 7/10 now. All over the back of the 52. Trying to make a move here. Remember, we saw this. Already got to the back hit bumper, this 52. Couldn't make the pass work before the 52. Like the hard left, the hard right turn down pit road, actually. Something changed here in the 12 now. Knows this is do or die. I mean, he's got 18 minutes to do it, right? But if I'm him, I want to get out and get away if I can. Instead of sitting behind and potentially putting yourself in a bad spot if the 52 makes a mistake, right? 52 makes a mistake, you don't want to be anywhere near it. Andretti hasn't been able to make the move yet. Christopher hasn't been able to make the move yet. I'm going to get those two mixed up all night. I don't know why. Austin Dorian has just hit all of his marks all race long. Gonna make it hard for this 12. Take advantage. Needs a mistake. Well, right there within striking distance. Really the only battle on track for this overall race win. Comes the move by the 50. By the 12. Gonna try the outside. A little bit of a crossover. And get a better run down through this corner. This is the closest he's been to the 52. Nothing yet though, but lap traffic up ahead. Have to navigate around the 67 machine. It's a really good job by the race leader. Gonna force the 12 to stay side by side through that first corner. Once again, 12 gets caught up in a precarious spot there. Giving a little bit of breathing room back to the race leader of Doran. They need to take advantage. And true marks try to get away. Andretti move for the race lead. What a move by the 12. Andretti will take the point here. Can he get away now? 14 minutes to go. Does Austin have anything left in the tank? Is that all the 52 had? Austin right there. Austin again though. Austin a little bit better on the brakes. His hard braking, those Austin has just been better. He's a little bit more finesse style corners. Those have been a little bit better. Here comes Austin with the drive down to the bottom. He'll retake the race lead with a high bake here, side by side through the S's. Just like that, the 52. Back on the port here. Not a lot of time left. 12 minutes left to go as we hit the stripe. 12 trying to put the pressure on there. Peeked out, peeked back in. Cole's got a little bit of a run. Get a 52 trying to break the draft. The one Alonso out of pit road. First car lap down is that one machine. This is kind of the part of the. It's gonna be hard for Christopher to make this pass work again because the 52 upset though. That's gonna help. That's definitely gonna help a lot. But these hard braking zones, the 52's just been better. And if he's better at you in the hard braking zones, there's not really a lot of passing opportunities. Outside of a mistake from the 52. Go all over the back end here. Trying to make something work here. Down through the Le Mans curves the 52 around. Race leader round with 10 minutes to go in the race. If you got any help, bumper to the back of the 52. Christopher was starting to win. I don't think that was intentional. This looked like an accidental bump, but that will take the 52 out of contention. Christopher Robinson, 7-second gap. Needs to hold on for 9 more minutes. Just over 9 more minutes. What a heartbreak for Austin Doran there. Has been so close to getting it done. Just like that. 9 more minutes for this slow machine. Yeah, his first win in season number 3. In season number 6, my apologies. Race number 3. No really further battles further on back here outside of this battle for P5. Jafari. Some pressure from Ollie Reeves. Trying to race for a top 5. Connor Jafari trying to fight tough there. They're both off. Reeves gonna try to take the spot away. No, Jafar's not just going to lay over, let him get away. And it just looks like Jafar does just not have the handling underneath that car he needs. Reeves will pull away there for P5. Further back here. Vanderlee trying to hold on to P6. Here comes the 67 of Bud Limick. He's off track. Probably going to be a slowdown for the 67. That battle will die down. Wyatt Roberts trying to hold off James Bomar for P10. I'm seeing a lot of Wyatt this race. Bomar running a little bit quicker right now. We want to talk about how quick these drivers are, though, because we've seen Wyatt here in ARC. You know, he came home, what, P2, P3 here in the ARC series. Oh, man. He blinked and lost 3 seconds to Bomar. I don't know, maybe he just backed out of it or something. If I were him, I would have just kept going. But he'll go back to P11. But we haven't really talked about this 42 all race long. And this is someone we saw, we know has ran here at Sebring before in the O'Reilly car. So knows how the track is. Talked about before running the sports car stuff here at Sebring. And he really likes this track. You know, he's been at the very best probably an 8th place driver tonight. That's just how talented this field is. 5 minutes to go. Doran has cut the gap down to 5 seconds. He's got 5 minutes. I mean, it's technically not over. Gonna all depend on when we get that white flag. You know, if that 52 gets back, he is not gonna have any mercy on this 12 machine. See him in the background there. Not helping that this 12's getting held up by this 40 machine. Truck putting a little bit of damage on the gap there. I mean, he's got it down underneath 4 seconds now. I love to see this when the driver, he was racing angry, right? And man, like, dude, I had a shot to win this race. I maybe should have won this race. I got bumped here in this exact corner. Now all he wants to do is go back there. Get back to that 12 who got him around, right? Now have to get around this Olivia Rodrigo machine though, the 17. Hopefully he just pulls over and gets out of the way though. If he does. He's got him in his sights. 3 to go. 3 minutes to go. 3 second gap. Not over. Underneath 3 seconds now. Well, no lap traffic in front, though. Next car up the road, Chris Downey. And he's making the corners up into Sunset Boulevard right now. We've got quite a space left. Austin Doran, though, you see further back. We get the 1.5. We'll probably get the 1 to go here this next time by. It's Austin Doran. Can he do anything? Can he get back to that 12? Is Christopher Robinson going to cruise to his first win here in season 6? But they're back here. Miles has completely capped the truck field here. He's going to get a top 20 overall spot. Really good job by Miles. Larry Miles, what a run. Ah, this 30 machine. Back up to the front, though. 45 seconds left. Will we get the white flag this time? I believe we should. A little bit of lap traffic up the road there. Here comes your race leader through the Le Mans curves for the penultimate time. We will get the white flag here from Sebring. 1 to go here for Christopher Robinson and that 12 team. 2.5 second gap back to Austin Doran. Need to hit your marks here, Christopher. Don't even have to go to 100%. Go back to 70. Go back to 80%. It's checkered flag in the air. Austin's going to get it. Christopher's going to get it here. Oh, yeah, not happy. That was a weird set of circumstances. We got the white flag, and then coming down here, we got the checkered. All right, well. The Christopher Robinson burning it down here. We've got about a half a lap to go here for the 30 Larry Miles. Yeah, on my timing and scoring, everybody, it said that was going to be 45 laps, so I called the white flag there on lap 45. So, but I guess they'd already gotten the checkered there, so. Went on this 30. No one in sight here. About a 21 second gap here for Larry Miles. We'll come through the last couple corners here. Schumacher gonna unlap himself from this truck here. It's gonna be the 30 team. Larry Miles. What a performance by this 30 team. Coming to the last couple set of corners here. He's gonna win the Truck Series class here. Larry Miles gets it done here from Sebring. Guess it's not gonna show us lap sled, is it? Because they don't have it set up as classes. Christopher Robinson back across the stripe here. He gets it done there. You see a congratulatory bump there from Grady Robinson. We haven't continued to burn it down here. Congratulations to Christopher. Congratulations to Larry Miles. 2 winners tonight here from Sebring. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different here. I'm not planning on interviewing your top 3. I'm gonna go ahead and interview your top 2 in tonight's race for both categories. So we'll talk to Andretti Robinson, Austin Doran, and we'll talk to Larry Miles, Josh Patterson up here in the HVTV booth if they want to talk to us at least here. Obviously still waiting on everybody to get ready to go here. Lead the 12 coming back around here. We need to celebrate here from Sebring. Continue to see this 12 burn it down here. Larry Miles coming out of here. We'll get ready to burn it down as well. Some co-ed. I like this. It's combo celebration here. It's good. It reminds me of, you know, back in the alley where you'd see the race winner burn it down, you'd see the champion burn it down. Larry Miles still burning it down though. Christopher Robinson will park it here. We'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break here. We went 90 minutes commercial free here. Go ahead and take a quick break here and let our partners over at iRacing talk to you guys, and we'll talk to you. Your top 2 finishers in each class tonight. Get your post race started here from Sebring.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
As we welcome you back to the post race show here from the SAAC Season 6 Cup Series. Obviously, combined race here with the Zach's Truck Series here. Their fourth race of the season. They just came off of, I believe, a race from the Nürburgring. So, two back-to-back road courses for that series. But obviously, we congratulate the two winners for tonight's race here as we congratulate Christopher Robinson and Larry Miles here for their wins in their categories here. Waiting on some people to join the booth here. We do have Larry Miles up here in the booth, so we'll go ahead and drag in the the 30 here if you come in here and talk to us. We didn't get a chance to really interview any of the truck drivers, so let's go ahead and talk to the number 30 here of Larry Miles. Hey, Matthew, it's Christian up here in the HPTV booth. You got a copy?
I hear you.
Well, obviously, win for you in the truck class here. Obviously, it looked like it was going to be between you and that 74, but it looks like on the long run there, you were just so much better than that 74 there of Josh Patterson. And then, obviously, you were able to drive away to almost a 40-second gap back to the 74 machine of of Josh there. So, first of all, congratulations. Another win here. Well, I guess a win here on the road courses. Obviously, you guys went to two road courses back to back. First from the Nürburgring here to Sebring. A good finish for you in this 30 team.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I knew from the Nürburgring all I had to do was save the rear end, and I'd be in a good spot, and that's what I did. I won by a lot, so I'm happy.
Exactly. You came home P2 last week from the Nürburgring. Obviously, coming home victorious. Your first win of the season here in the truck series. Obviously, carrying that momentum. Obviously, it looks like outside the top 5 for the first 2 races. Obviously, our first broadcast here with you guys in the trucks. But obviously, coming back from, the Nürburgring to finish P2, come home victorious, a 1-2 finish here. And obviously, you go to, in a couple weeks, kind of another, if you want to call it a road course with Wild West. But obviously, walking us through tonight's race with the chaos of just not only racing around each other, but also the next-gen cars around you. What was the feeling of just having to manage tonight's race here from this 90 minutes here from Sebring?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
just walk us through just the dynamics of what it took to, not only race around the trucks that you're racing with, but also having to navigate around, these next gen cars also here from Sebring.
Oh, it was classic multi-class racing. It was chaos. I wish there could have been more cars on track, but that's just how multi-class racing goes. It's fun.
Obviously, yeah, it was a lot of fun here. I mean, we don't really get to see a lot of NASCAR multi-class, and super cool to see, obviously, the SAAC guys come aboard here. Obviously, you guys did this for the Clash there early in the season for preseason. Obviously, they got the idea to do this for the road courses, so obviously, really cool to see you guys out on track, and obviously, cool to see, just the dynamics of having to manage the lap traffic, and, for you, I felt like your strongest here was just kind of letting these faster guys go in an opportune time versus, a lot of the other drivers who were just trying to run their own race versus you who kind of just, if you needed to, you backed out of it, let the faster guys go, and it, at the end of the day, gave you, better long run pace.
Yeah, that's how you save tires. You gotta take the opportunities when they're there and not force anything. I had to force something on Ethan because he was going pretty slow and defending hard, but other than that, it was just tire advantage.
Well, he definitely did a great job saving those tires, like you said, saving those rear tires to get you to the front there. Almost a 40-second advantage back to Josh Patterson there in that 74 machine. Obviously, he put up a pretty good fight there towards the first half of the race, but after that, it was just all you and this 30 team. So congratulations, your first win here in the truck series there. We congratulate that on you. But before we let you go, Larry, anybody you want to shout out, appreciate, thank for tonight's run here from Sebring?
I'd like to shout out my team boss, Brady Floyd. This is a win for AJ. That's awesome. And also thanks, Cody, for hosting the session. and Brad hosting the truck league.
I definitely know they'll appreciate those shout outs there. But once again, we appreciate your time up here in the booth, Mashu. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do further here in the truck season over on BRN. But we appreciate your time up here in the HVT booth and wish you a good one.
Thank you.
So Larry Miles, victorious here from Sebring in the truck class. We'll go ahead and take a look at talk to your second place driver here. Josh Patterson looked like he was potentially the favorite to win there in the truck class, but kind of the race just kind of fell apart there at the last half of this race here. We'll talk to the 74 of Josh Patterson. Hey Josh, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Hey man, I got you.
Well, P2 for you in the 74 team. It looked like you were potentially the truck to beat there in that first half of the race, but it looked like Larry might have just had something figured out. He figured something out there on the second half, saving a little bit of tires. But what a battle for you to keep up here, get that P2 finish here in that 74 machine.
Yeah, absolutely. He managed to pull some kind of voodoo stuff with his tires going on there at the end. He definitely had the pace on me, so congratulations to him on the win there. He definitely deserved it. He got around me there with I think like 37, 38 minutes left, and I pit because I was trying to get the tires on him and try to get ahead so I could try to defend a little more in the last run there. And I ended up like a lap and a half short on fuel. So that entire last stint, I was just like really clutching and coasting just to try to get to the end. And I made it by the skin of my teeth. But yeah, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to battle or defend like I was hoping to in that last stint because of the fuel. But hey, it was still a really great run, and I'm happy with the second place finish.
Obviously, looking back here, obviously, we're not your guys' full-time broadcasters, so a little bit uninformed on a lot of you guys. But obviously, coming here from Sebring, obviously, looked like the truck to beat tonight. Like you said, something happened with that 30 that allowed him to figure out the tire wear a lot better than you, but still a good finish for you nonetheless here in the 74 machine. Obviously, looking forward into the next couple of races, Kern County, that high banked half a mile short track down there in California, and then Wild West. Definitely going to be definitely an interesting and a different track for you guys. What's kind of the mindset moving forward into these next couple of tracks?
Yeah, I mean, I actually wasn't. This is like my first time running with these guys over the past couple weeks here. One of my buddies told me to run this series, so I figured if I was going to run the series for him, I was going to run for points. So coming out here trying to run every race with these, it is a bit of an odd track selection. Wild West is somewhere I have actually ran before in the trucks, which I don't think many people can say, but it is a fun track. I am typically better at the kind of weirder configurations with dirt and road and stuff like that when compared to the 1.5. So I feel like I've got a good shot going through tracks like that, but it is really just a wild card, and we'll see who ends up running well. So yeah, I mean, should be a ton of fun either way.
It's definitely going to be exciting to see what you guys can do there in these next couple of weeks. Like you said, kind of a lot of oddball tracks tonight here on for the truck schedule, but yeah, still a good run for you in the 74 team. So we congratulate you on a podium finish tonight here from Sebring. But before we let you go, Josh, anybody you want to thank, shout out, appreciate for tonight's run from Sebring?
Yeah, I got to thank everybody on North South Racing coming and race with me every week and doing all the things that they do. I got to thank JPAC Graphics, Ignite SRN, Blue Jay Creative Studio, Limeade Media, Bob Hibbert Sportswear. I got to thank all the guys here in SAAC for allowing me to run tonight. I know with the multi-class deal, it was a bit of a last-second decision there, but I'm happy I was able to run with them. Got to thank you for broadcasting. I was trying to check on the stream while racing. Probably wasn't the smartest idea, but it seemed like you were doing a really great job. So I'm excited to go back and watch that. And got to give another shout out to Larry for going and kicking my butt tonight and getting the dub. And yeah, got to thank everyone for coming out and giving me a great race.
We definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the HVTV booth, and wish you good luck the rest of the season. Obviously, trying to get your way into the postseason. Obviously, a good run tonight here from Sebring will definitely help with that. But we thank you for your time up here in the booth, and wish you good luck here for the rest of the season.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much.
Yep. Josh Patterson, P2 here from Sebring in the truck class. We'll go ahead and move up to your next gen class here. We'll get ready to talk to your race winner, overall winner, Christopher Robinson up here in the booth. Hey, Christopher, it's Christian up here in the HVT booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first of all, congratulations, overall winner here from Sebring. And what a way to do it. Have to defend off the 52 there, but your first win, I believe, in the season. And obviously, what a way to win it here at our first road course here. And you know, a different, unique track, different, unique race here. Obviously, with the trucks here with us tonight here in the Cup Series.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one. Very fun. Super happy and proud that I won the inaugural race here. First race at Sebring. This is my favorite track of all time. Um, Endurance racing, I love it. I have an endurance racing background. I mean, this was right up my alley. Austin as well. I would like to congratulate Austin on that second place finish. I mean, I hate that we got into that little scuffle that we did. I take the blame for that. We talked. But that dude was fast. There was, oh my lord, he was. If he wasn't in front of me, he was on my bumper. You know what I mean? You've seen it. It was huge. Congrats to him. It was a really fun race today.
Yeah, and just walk us through the dynamics. Obviously, not only have to worry about racing with Austin and trying to, hit your marks there, but have to get around these slower trucks there. And it just, quite literally the lap traffic, we talk about like the IMSA multi-class racing. That's exactly what we got tonight. Walk us through just the dynamics and the difficulties of just having to manage the trucks as well with the 52.
It was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty difficult. I mean, but for the most part, I feel like most of the trucks got out of the way or were in a good enough position to let me by or whatever. Like it was pretty good. I think majority of the truck drivers did a very good job. Congratulations to them too, or huge props to them because this is a completely different playing field for them. I do know that. It was as sometimes it was difficult. I'm not sure if you saw the incident with the 71. It's unfortunate he got turned right there on the exit of 5, but I don't know. I had places to be. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna really lift. I went to the inside. I felt like he kind of blocked, which is odd for a lap car. You know what I mean? A traffic car. But I understand he has his race too. But I went to the outside and he hooked himself, or I might have hooked him. But I don't know. I had places to be, and I kind of knew what he was gonna. I knew he was gonna be a little difficult to get around him that time by. He kind of had a history. Um, I don't know. I had to take out the trash real fast. That's all I can say. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's just part of multi-class racing. You'll have guys who will pull over. You'll have guys who want to fight for you. And unfortunately, when you're trying to win the race, you got to do what you got to do, right? So, but nonetheless, you come home victorious. Obviously, beating Austin. Austin, was running you down there at the end. Just not enough time for him. So, congratulations to you, Christopher. Your first win of the season here in season 6, and what a way to do it here from your favorite track here in Sebring.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I would like to also thank you as well. You're doing an amazing job. We watched the videos at work. Keep doing you, man. You're doing amazing.
Oh, I definitely appreciate the kind words up in the booth. But before I let you go, anybody else you want to thank? Appreciate shout out for tonight's win.
I would like to thank Calaveras Racing. All those guys are amazing. I would like to thank Rap Guy, my job. They let me off early today so I can compete here today, and put on a good show for you guys. I would like to thank Jesus Christ for also allowing me to be here today. And yeah, I think that's it.
Well, we definitely appreciate your time up here in the HVTV booth. We appreciate the kind words and wish you good luck as we go into the future here, as we go into next week, which I believe is Darlington. So another, kind of more difficult track here for the Nexians. But obviously, congratulations, your first win of the season. We look forward to seeing what you can do down the road here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Christopher Robinson comes home victorious from Sebring. We'll go ahead and talk to the P2 driver here, Austin Dorian. Obviously, a heartbreak for him. Maybe he was a top 2 car nonetheless. Unfortunately, a little bit of ill-advised contact from the number 12 machine. He'll come home P2. Let's go ahead and talk to the 52 of Austin. Hey, Austin, it's Christian up here in HV2 booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Christian.
Well, P2 for you and this 52 team. Obviously, we saw the contact between you and the 12 of Christopher. Obviously, he took the blame there. Didn't mean to do it, but obviously, you can't unwreck someone, but still get a recovery to a P2 finish there. Was running down the 12 there, but just looked like not enough time to get back to the 12 machine there, but still a good P2 finish. Walk us through your race tonight. Walk us through, the difficulties of Sebring.
Yeah, it was great. Sebring is definitely probably my favorite track that I get to race on. Do a lot of GT stuff, so this track is like a home to me. I'm about an hour and a half away in real life too, so it was a lot of fun leading up to the week because this was a very unique car and track combo. So I was super excited. Did a lot of practice coming up to this, and Christopher did as well. Christopher ran a great race. Yeah, it just really sucks what happened at the end there, but yeah, Christopher ran a great race. Our strategies were a little bit different, which is pretty interesting. Uh, I knew we had the pace for each other, and he started catching me on the long end of the first run. So I knew if I was able to pit early, I could jump him a little bit, and we were yeah right on top of each other at the end of each run. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it sucks what happened to us. We were both so fast. I really wish it could have been better, but it's really a what could have been situation.
I definitely agree. Could have, would have, what, woulda, shoulda, coulda, right, for the 52 team. And, obviously, talking about that contact, if you don't get that contact from that 12 machine, do you think you have something for him there at the end?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Most of the end of the runs he was quicker, but I was able to hold him off for a good bit there. I was actually made a mistake a few laps before that and was able to get back by him. So I think our pace was pretty equal at the end. And I knew he was quicker at that moment leading up to that corner. So I even actually ran it a little bit wide going up to the corner to give him a lane or two on the inside if he wanted to make a move. And I'm still confused on why he was running so high on the entry to the corner and then obviously hit me in the right rear and spun me out. So really sucks. But yeah, I think I definitely would have had the pace to keep up with him and maybe even hold him off at the end there.
Well, nonetheless, still a good finish for you. Obviously, led quite a few laps tonight here from Sebring. Still got to within a second and a half there, yeah, despite, going around there in the penultimate corner. So, coming to your home track, having a good P2 run, probably had a, top one, top two car. Can't be too upset about that. But obviously, coming into tonight, you came home fourth in the clash. And have just had a pretty solid season nonetheless. So we look forward into Darlington. Anything, looking forward to when it comes to the next couple tracks, Darlington, Bristol, and then obviously some more road courses in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to the road courses for sure. That's my sweet spot. But yeah, the ovals are pretty good too. It'll be the high horsepower package for the next 2 weeks. So that'll be pretty exciting. We'll see how tire wear and stuff ends up for those tracks. But yeah, well, hopefully I can have a better run. The last 2 weeks have not been too great. Finished outside the top 20, but definitely made up some good points here at Sebring. So very grateful for that.
Definitely had a fast car tonight here, Austin, in that 52 machine. But um, going to come home bridesmaid, but still a good point state for you nonetheless. So we congratulate you on a podium finish here from Sebring. But we'll let you go, Austin. Anybody want to thank, shout out, appreciate for this run tonight from Sebring?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my team, ECU Racing. They were giving me support all throughout the race, so that was pretty cool. Thanks to James, Chris, the other James, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno for his good run as well. Like to shout out Austin D Graphics, of course, my design business. This is our last week running the State Trooper Florida car that I had for the first 3 weeks of the season. So that was pretty fun to do, a pretty cool project that I worked up. Like to shout out UCF, Flat 6 Motorsports, and K1 Race Gear for the support.
Well, we definitely appreciate your time up here in the booth, Austin, and obviously a good run tonight. Hopefully you can carry that momentum into the next couple tracks there until you can get to those road courses that you love so much. But we appreciate your time up here in the booth, Austin, and like I said, we wish you good luck these next couple weeks.
All right. Thank you, Christian.
Austin comes home P2 in the next gen class, and what I mean, you like you said, it's just like a matter of what if, right, for that 52. If that contact doesn't happen, was he able to hold on and get his first win of the season? Obviously, one of the road course guys here in SAAC, right? By the sounds of it. So obviously he's got to hold on for Darlington, hold on for Bristol, and then we have that double header from Road America and Indy Road in the next couple weeks here. So still a good run for Austin nonetheless here, coming home P2. Can't be too upset about that. But we'll go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results tonight here from Sebring. Continue to show this 52 out on track here. Go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results tonight here for the 90 minutes of Sebring here for the SAAC Season 6 Cup Series, obviously also with the Truck Series as well. But Take a look at our Cup Series guys first. You look at Christopher Robinson, Austin Dorian, AJ Hyder comes home P3 in that next gen class. Really good run for AJ there. Look back to Jody Robinson, Ollie Reeves, your top 5. Connor Jafari, Matthew O'Brien, Faber Burns, James Beaumont, and Wyatt Roberts, your top 10 here in the next gen class. Look further back here. Jumi, Chris Downey, Cody Rivera is the last drivers on the lead lap, and you look further back here outside of lead lap drivers. We'll see Brian Lorenzo 1 lap down, as well as Justin Rott, Chris Lilly, Gabe Cazola, Jockey Tarpley, and Declan George, the last drivers to finish the race here on the next gen class. And we'll go back now to the truck class here, as we talked to Larry Mines there, the 30. He wins the truck series racing on number 30 machine. Further back here, look at Joshua Patterson. We talked to him up here in the HV2 booth post race. You look at Garrett White rounding out the podium for the truck series. Ethan Marino back there. Well, and you look further back here, 24th, 25th. Another Ethan and Ethan Harrison, Marcus Vanderlee, Nicholas Budlimick, and Brian Zizweski back there in the 27th spot. And then out early, you see Dimitri Mundros, Gabe Dahare, Diego Roland. Further back here, outside the top 30, Amir Basco, Malachi Drake, Donovan David, David Bachman, Dale Beck, Michael Walls, Juan Escamilla, Duncan Fa, and Fidel Fabian round out your 39 car field tonight. A way to, have this event, the inaugural race in the SAACs here from Sebring, and what a way to do it. We had 2 really good battles, honestly, for both wins. At the start, it was the trucks, and it was the 30 and the 47 battling it out there for the win there. And then obviously we still see this 52 out on track, as it was him and the 12 of Christopher Robinson battling it out there for the win till the very end. Obviously that contact between the 2 race leaders ended up giving that 12 the win there, but nonetheless, still a really fantastic race, and really fun to call. Our first multi-class race here at a road course, and our first timed race here on the network. So couldn't do it. Wouldn't rather do any place here else here than with the SAACs guys. They've taken us on full time, and looking forward to seeing what we can build here in the future here for SAACs and for all these guys here. But for myself, Christian Delgado up here in the HVTV booth, and everybody in the background who works here for the network, we appreciate everyone for coming out. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like, subscribing to the network, we'd really appreciate it, as we'll be back on live. We're whether you're watching over on High Velocity TV or whether you're watching over on twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. We'd appreciate it if you'd go out there and follow those 2 platforms and hit the bell notification and to be notified anytime we go live, either on one of those places, especially over on the Twitch. We're live there almost every day of the week. They're doing something, whether it's broadcasting, racing, or just having fun up there. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's broadcast there from Sebring International. Once again, we hope everybody has a good rest of your Thursday night. Be on the lookout tomorrow for the NWB 400 over on the IDK Player YouTube channel, as I'll be over there pit reporting for the NWP 400. But once again, we hope everybody has a good rest of the night. See you guys on the flip side.